give him 5 on the return. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. Shotgun now for Wentz. Throwing middle, and it's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is it not? With his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play. But what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker.
It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. On 1st and 10, here's Wentz. They set up the screen to Ajayi. And he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the screen there. It's 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Ajayi escapes him, and he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. And a nice carry there of 15 yards.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. In this defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
Wentz almost able to intercept it. That's one he would have liked to have held on to on his first drive. Instead, 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that, 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. That one goes for 16 yards. It sets him up 1st and goal. The Eagles into the red zone for the first time. They've got a 1st and goal to go at the 7. From the gun, it's Wentz. And he's got his man on the out route. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. As his guys are in for 6. And the Eagles have taken the early lead. And he puts it through. After the field goal, here's Elliott to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Seahawks offense now, they get set to go back to work. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of 1st downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. On 2nd down, Johnson. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. From the shotgun, it's Bridgewater. And this is going to be incomplete. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again, just like last week. Each game is its own entity, treated as such.
This will be fielded at the 17. Dances by him. Excellent work on the run back there, 33 yards. And the Eagles will have great starting field position here as they take over. Now Philadelphia ready to get going on offense again. They have to be thrilled with that first drive that got them the touchdown. Now they'll be looking to make it a 2-score advantage here on the road.
And you know they spent all week in practice, in meetings, talking about taking an early advantage. Being the road team, going up a score, that takes the crowd out of the game and puts some doubt in the minds of their opponents.
Here's Ajani. And good penetration here. He'll get this down only to about the 49-yard line. Nazaire Jones there on the tackle.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Give him 6 yards on the carry. It's going to be 3rd and 3 now.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
A good chance this is 4-down territory if they're unable to convert. But right now looking at a 3rd and 3. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1. So look at this. Here's the field goal unit coming out. And he is going to need to bomb this one. And this will be spotted on the other side of the field. It's a 61-yard attempt. So it's not an NFL record, but it's not far off. That'll go in the books as a 61-yard field goal.
And wasn't it weird to see a guy line up for a field goal on the other side of midfield? The ball got halfway there, and you thought, no way is that going to make it. But it just kept carrying and carrying. And he winds up sneaking it right over the bar.
As Seattle now ready to march onto the field. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a 1st down and change our momentum?
Bridgewater now looking to throw on first. And the grab made by Doug Baldwin. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and now they're faced with a 3rd and 1.
And when you don't pick up the necessary yardage in that situation, sometimes it starts to put a little doubt in the play caller's mind about what he's going to run on the next play. Because most of them, they thought they were going to pick it up right then and there. Now they've got to adjust what they're doing, adjust what they're thinking, and maybe they go away from what they originally thought.
They'll try and run for it. Here's Johnson. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. He needed a yard. That's what he got, and it's going to earn him a new set of downs. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Bridgewater on 1st down. Walker with a grab, left side. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
A 2nd down throw for Bridgewater. being chased out left. Oh, you saw that one coming. It's intercepted, throwing back across his body. Rasul Douglas picks it, and they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. It's almost like you can see the look of frustration on his face. 4 interceptions last week. We talked about it all week. What did he do wrong? And another one here in the first half.
And you can understand the frustration. You actually feel his pain a little bit. But the worst thing he can do is what you're saying right now, showing the other team that he's frustrated. All they're going to do is double their efforts to make him even more frustrated. He's got to gather himself, compose himself, and keep fighting.
Well, he talked a lot about erasing that loss last week, getting back in the win column. We'll see how he responds. They go play action here on first down. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And nearly picked it off. He had a chance to come down with that in the end zone, but it'll wind up just being incomplete.
That was a dangerous throw towards the end zone. Boy, did it hang up there forever. Wanted to run up there and pull it down out of the sky.
Yeah, it felt like it really should have been intercepted. Lucky to have that one back.
You've got to be more careful when you're that close to the goal line.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. To throw, it's Wentz. They dump off underneath to Ajayi. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. Give him 9 on the play, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 1.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
Wentz to throw on 3rd and 1. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he gets it to the 32, good enough for a first down. Catch number 4 for him on the afternoon, and it'll give him a first down. Wentz now hitting on 80% of his passes in the early going. 8 of 10. It's first down. Now it's Ajayi. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. Now Wentz on 3rd down. And that is incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, it totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down.
I think the last 2 plays really illustrate how difficult it is to game plan against this guy because you know he can throw the football, but how about his use of legs as well? What we call those broken plays, you can't account for them.
Yeah, those plays, those 2 that you just mentioned, a microcosm really of how he can hurt you. first down carry here for Johnson. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play. It'll be second down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. Now a handoff, Johnson. And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down. The Seahawks on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is third down and 12. From the gun, Bridgewater. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by the linebacker, Jordan Hicks. And he'll get this back to the 32-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they're throwing an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at about the 32. Now Wentz. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And that one falls incomplete. Looked like he might have had position there, but he couldn't hold on at second down.
One thing I know from experience is that when the deep ball is thrown and you're the defender, you've got to fight that little bit of panic that emerges. You've got to play the ball really well. It's a 50-50 jump ball play. And guess what? They took a shot. How are you going to win it? And in this case, they managed to get it done.
Once again here on 2nd and 10. Dancing to his left. And he'll be hit as he releases it. And that'll fall incomplete.
Well, we always talk about how you've got to be quick when you go through your progressions, and here's another prime example. Trying to look downfield, he was standing in the pocket, but just couldn't find anyone open, could he?
No, not enough time. They hit him and forced that incompletion. The Eagles on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Working from the gun, Wentz. And a reception made by Alshon Jeffrey. And out across midfield down to the 45. And they're able to convert on third with a solid gain of 23. Alshon Jeffrey so dangerous even when a defender's near him.
He's got such a big body, ability to run, positions himself well, excellent control.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off around the 41. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line. This defense had 3 interceptions last week. They're on pace for more than that here. 2 in the first half.
Do not adjust your set. This is not instant replay. This is a defense that is locked in. They're essentially running the routes for the receivers and turning into the receivers themselves, aren't they? I mean, it is amazing what I'm seeing because the reactions of those guys back on the back 7, phenomenal.
Following the interception, here's Bridgewater. And a big loss here as he's taken down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Now this one from about 2 counties over after the sack. They come up on a 2nd and very long. Bridgewater. Well, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Jordan Hicks in there to get him, and this pass rush strong now. That's sacks on back-to-back plays. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Bridgewater now. And he goes down. It's a sack. They get him back at his own 3-yard line. Brandon Graham in there to drop him yet again, and he must be shell-shocked back there. That's now back-to-back-to-back sacks, and it's 4th down. And he's able to get it out of there, and this is a pretty good kick. Taken in at the 11. And time for us to take a break here in the booth. Back to CenturyLink Field after this.
Great.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. He's got a man complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A very nice pickup of 33 yards. Wentz looking very much like his pre-injury self. He's got the Eagles on the move with a 1st and 10. Wentz now on 1st down. And this is Hurts with it, right side. A nice pickup there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a 1st down.
Wentz now on 1st down. He's going to float this one deep right side, and he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. Carson Wentz with 2 first-half touchdown passes. And the Eagles had 6 to their lead.
That drive was quick and impressive. Almost like they had somewhere else they needed to be after the game.
Elliott now to kick this one away. This one taken from the 7. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
And the first play of the drive there is incomplete. And he was hit as he threw it there, and it forces it incomplete. Once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10. Throwing again, Bridgewater on 2nd and 10. Steps away to his left. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Rasul Douglas picks it.
I think that interception happened for 2 reasons. Quarterback gets outside the pocket and panics a little bit, and receiver doesn't make sure he's absolutely in an open spot. So there's a guy lurking, took the ball from him.
Yeah, so don't wave your arms, right, as a receiver if you're not wide open.
Got to know that you're open. Otherwise, just don't do it.
Now Wentz. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. Wentz will try again on 2nd down. Looking deep for his tight end, Hurts. And both guys were there, but it falls incomplete. This secondary has been roasted in this first half, but they get a measure of revenge there. Nice play on the deep ball.
Yeah, they're going to need a few more plays like that in order to get their confidence fully back, but that's one step in the proper direction.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. On play action, it's Wentz. Toward the sideline, did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got them both down, says the side judge, and that's good enough for a 1st down.
And that's how you pick up a 1st down. Not only does he make the catch, but has enough body control to get his feet down inbounds, toe tapping and dragging to make sure he gets it done.
Throwing now is Wentz, and that one will fall incomplete. Clock here now just under 30 seconds to go in this first half. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Again, it's Wentz. And he's got it. Got his man on the end route. Complete. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down. Shorty. Wentz looking to throw on 3rd and 2. The quick slant caught. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. 3 touchdown passes now for Carson Wentz. And the Eagles add on to their lead. And it's up and good. Elliott now to kick this one away. This one taken from the 7. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. And the Seahawks get ready to trot out on the field. Typically down to the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive. But they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, normally, you know me. You've been around me for a while now, right?
Unfortunately.
I'm sorry about that. But normally, I'm the one preaching patience.
Yeah.
You know, take your time. First half, you still got a chance. I think they're out of patience here. This has to be a drive that gets a touchdown. So if you're the play caller, you're going to that portion of the sheet that says big-time plays, specials, anything you can use to get yourself back into it.
So the Eagles with the lead, and they're going to get this football first as the third quarter gets underway. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Out come the Eagles now as they'll go on offense first here in the third quarter. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
I think the best offenses love to give the ball to their running backs in open space because they have the ability to make people miss, and they also have the ability to run over people. And if you do that throughout the game, after a while, they might just run through some of those tackles and go a long way.
Well, we saw him shed a nice tackle on that play. It's a loss of 2, now third down.
I think it's pretty evident we can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. Looking for Aguilar, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the all-pro free safety, Earl Thomas. And he's able to take this one back to the 36-yard line. And they needed a break. They needed to make a play here in the third quarter. Defensively, they did that. Now they got to go quickly and get some points on the board.
And the best part is that they made their own break. Taking the ball away. Now they just look at their offense and saying, guys,
let's go.
Come on, capitalize on this one.
Oh, a battle for it here, and this will be caught. A gain of 32 that time. Well, even after all those interceptions, he's not deterred, still confident to go deep at work there.
I think all the old rules about playing that position still apply. If things go wrong, you still act like you're the best player out on the field. You still carry that supreme arrogance with you and continue to fire the ball. I've seen guys have games like this, and this is where you find out if you're great or not. Can you overcome some interceptions and still lead your team to victory?
And he is out of bounds inside the 30. A gain of 3, second down.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
They go to Johnson again. And he'll fall forward to the 29-yard line. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it's going to make it third down at 6.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got a chance to pin their ears back and get after him now.
On third down, Bridgewater. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Jordan Hicks in there to get him his second sack now of the afternoon.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. Here comes Eagle offense now as they get set to take over here. Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And he's taken down. Back at his own 7. Kerry Hyder in there to bury him for a loss of 11.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
On 2nd down, here's Wentz. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. And able to get it here to about the 16-yard line. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
On 3rd and long, it's Wentz. And he's taken down. Back at his own 7. Barkevious Mingo coming in to drop him for a loss of 8. And it'll be 4th down. The Eagles send out their punter now, as his first punt will come from inside his own end zone. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
It's caught. Block it. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Now a 10th carry for Johnson. He finds an opening past the 40 and all the way up to the 45-yard line.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Now on the heels of that run by Johnson, here's another 1st and 10. Bridgewater on 1st down. Escaping the pressure right. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be 2nd and a couple.
Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
Second down, Bridgewater. Dumping it off for Johnson. And he's got this down a yard or 2 shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. A first down throw for Bridgewater. And he's going to be hit and taken down. Back right around the 48-yard line. Timmy Jernigan in there to record another sack. Their 6th of the afternoon. And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. From the shotgun, it's Bridgewater. Flushed out right. His throw incomplete. The intended target, Doug Baldwin. And it's 3rd down. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on 1st down, then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. 3rd and long for Bridgewater. And he locates Walker, complete. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. A good pickup there, 26 yards. This quarterback now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Throwing, Bridgewater. Screen play, Johnson. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. 7 yards there on the 1st down screen play.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
Able to get 7 on that 1st down pass play. 2nd and 3. They'll hand it off now. Johnson. And he'll take this one down near the 15. Call it a gain of 3, but not enough to move the sticks. It'll be 3rd and about a foot or 2.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
You got him. You got him.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. They're looking at 3rd in the nose of the football. Again, it's Johnson. And they're going to lose some on this play. Being knocked back to the 18. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down. Now Gostkowski will come on to try a field goal. From the right hash, it's a 35-yard attempt. And Gostkowski's kick is good. And that will cut the lead down to 3 scores at 24. I'm kind of surprised by that they kicked the field goal. I guess you get some points, but this deficit 3rd quarter, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't either. Yeah, I'm with you on that one. When you're down that much, kicking a field goal, does it feel a little bit maybe waving the white flag? You just want to get out of here? Yeah, I think you got to go ahead and try and get some bigger points on the board.
Gostkowski now converted for 3. Now he'll kick this one away. This one fielded at the 5. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. And out now come the Eagles. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at the 33-yard line. Now Wentz. That'll be caught over the middle by Moss. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. Back now in Seattle, Washington. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4.
Hang in there now. Hang in there now.
This is Ajayi. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13. They run again with Ajayi. Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a 1st. Well, that looked like an example of what you said back in the first half. A running back of his size can really wear down a defense. I think he's starting to do that.
I think you're exactly right. And know what else he's doing? He's inspiring the rest of his team because they see this starting to happen as well. So that means they're going to redouble their efforts to help him out. Extra blocking, getting downfield, helping him out.
Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
You're making it look easy out there. Another first down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 first downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. Now they'll throw it. Wentz. Forced out to his left. They'll wind up with positive yardage. It's a gain of 3, but now it's 3rd down.
How about a tip of the cap to the defense? They're working against a very mobile quarterback, but all day long they've kept him under wraps. And on that play, they held him to a short gain.
Wentz going to throw. And he's wrapped up. Taken down. Back at the 25. Nazir Jones in there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that'll lead to a 4th down. And Elliott puts this one through. And that'll push the lead from 24 up to 27. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. And out now come the Seahawks. And they had a long drive last time, but they had to settle for a field goal, and I'm sure that's how it felt to them, settling. They probably should have gotten in the end zone.
Yeah, not out-and-out joy, right? Because that's what you get when you put the ball in the end zone. But there are benefits to that type of a long drive. Your defense gets a chance to take a break, adjust a little bit, maybe get themselves ready to get back out on the field.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. He's picked off at his own 46. And a super return as he gets us all the way down inside the 25-yard line. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off.
And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off inside the 5. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Now they get a 4th quarter pick. A little something to hang their hat on, I guess.
Okay, so let's face it, though. Who's happy about this play? Fantasy guys, right?
Yeah.
The analytics will tell you one thing or another. That's a bad play on one hand, a good play on the other. But it's all about the fantasy points here. Yeah,
because this ball game is over. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. Out of his end zone, Bridgewater. Slant route, caught by Edelman. And they'll get him down right at around the 11-yard line. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down.
Some think that teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
Being chased out left.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. He lets it fly for Lockett. And they will not be able to hook up there. It's incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And now possession will go over inside the 15-yard line. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And that's going to be caught for an Eagles touchdown. Carson Wentz with touchdown pass number 4 on the afternoon. And the Eagles continue to roll. So another score there, and often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. This one fielded at the 5. And he is going to be taken down inside the 5 at the 4-yard line.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
On 1st and 10, Bridgewater. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. From the gun, Bridgewater. And now here is another interception. Picked off at the 11. And the field position doesn't get much better than this. They'll have it 1st and goal at the 8-yard line. Suddenly it's 1st and goal after the interception. A quick change in the situation here. So after the INT, here's Wentz. That's complete right around the 8. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. It's the fullback, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Eagles take advantage of good field position on the turnover to cash this one in. Elliott good with a PAT, and the lead will swell by 1 more.